Hi you guys, it's Elsa. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I did these very full, messy boho braids. These are about a week old and I love them so much. I feel like I say this all the time, but these might be my favorite boho braids I've done so far. Yeah, they're a little different from boho braids that I've done previously. These ones really give that Zoe Kravitz boho braid look and I really like it. I'm going to be wearing them for a total of 6 weeks, so I have 5 more weeks to go. I did try a different technique on these boho braids. I feel like the next time I do boho braids, the tutorial will be more thorough and like so much better. So this is kind of just you guys watching me do my hair. So enjoy.
Question, tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. Only ring your celly when I'm feeling lonely. When it's all over, please get up and leave. Question, tell me how you feel about this. Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own car note and I pay my own bills. Always 50-50 in relationships. The shoes on my feet, I bought the clothes I'm wearing. I bought the rock I'm rocking. I bought 'cause I depend on me. If I wanted the watch I'm wearing, I bought the house I live in. I bought the car I'm driving. I bought it. I depend on me. I depend on me. All the women with me, throw your hands up at me. All the honeys who make you money, throw your hands up at me. All the mamas who drop the dollar, throw your hands up at me. All the ladies who truly feel it, throw your hands up at me. Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how your angels get down like that. Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how your angels get down like that. Tell me how you feel about this. Do it how I want, live how I wanna live. I worked hard and sacrificed to get what I get. Ladies, it ain't easy being independent. Question, how'd you like this knowledge that I brought?
The video I just made is so yummy, and I really didn't even try. I just put fruits that I thought was gonna go bad. Like I had strawberries that I needed to either freeze or use right away because they were starting to go bad. Blueberries towards the bottom of the box, they just start to look, you know. And then I had some frozen raspberries. I just had random things that I just threw in there. A frozen banana. I put almond butter. What else did I put? And I was not expecting it to be like this yummy. So I'm going to show you guys how I do my boho braids. I'm doing it a little bit different than how I've done it in the past. I haven't used any shine and jam for my scalp. I've only been using it for just on the hairs to combine it with the boho pieces that I'm adding, and just to get the little flyaways. I did use it to part my hair like around my edges, but I am going to use it for my middle part. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just have like 2 rows left, and I will show you guys how I do my boho braids. I don't know what's going on. I feel like shine and jam has changed. I feel like I have to worry about, because sometimes it'll randomly, like, I don't know, it looks kind of like there's like, I don't know, a white cast. I don't remember it doing that. And sometimes it doesn't cause like a white cast, and sometimes it does. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I'm just getting some more hair ready. And because I ran out of hair, I'm using clip-in extensions that I have. I'm just cutting off the hair off like right at the base of the clip, kind of. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope so. Brush out the excess, and I like to make kind of wispy the ends, so that way when I'm adding it into my hair, it's not super blunt, because when it's super blunt, it just like sticks out everywhere, which is fine because it kind of flattens out eventually, but I do like to make them a little wispy. I'm gonna grab some shine and jam, put it on the ends, comb it out like that, and then it just makes it easy to separate. I want the pieces in the front row to be like a lot of hair, so I'm making it like this size, and then for the pieces that I'm adding for length, and so that the ends of my hair is curly, I'm making it like smaller. You want the ends of the hair to gradually get skinnier so that way it doesn't unravel, so I'm grabbing slightly smaller pieces to add to the end. So I'm keeping the smaller pieces on the left side of my rack, and then the larger sizes that are going to go higher on the right side of the rack.
I'll tell you that much.
You are a golden boot. Are you the first golden boot recipient?
I'm the third.
This is coronavirus hair.
This is finally some in the wigs out of the bins all season.
This is a piece that I'm working on right now. So I'm going to use a tiny bit of Shine and Jam, just a small amount, just to gather all the hairs together. And then I'm going to split it into 3. I have my 3 equal strands. And now I'm going to start braiding. Push down so that it's tight to the scalp. Braid it a couple of times, make sure it's snug. And then I want the pieces to come out pretty high, so I'm going to add my first piece. Do you see how the end is pointed? Hopefully you can see. It makes it easier when adding it, and also it blends nicer into your own hair. So you want to make sure you have your fingers still holding the braid. You don't want to lose your grip. You want to leave, how many inches is that? 1, 2, 3, I don't know, like 4 inches of the shorter end. So that way you're really braiding it into your hair and you don't have to worry about the hair falling out. I'm going to first grab it with my pinky. Pinky, work! What is going on, pinky? Like, okay, so I grabbed it with my pinky. And then I'm going to use my thumb to push it into the braid. And then continue just to push it in there. Like, don't push it too hard that it completely scrunches up. Then continue braiding. And then I'm going to take it out right away. Just move it out of the way. And then keep braiding. And then kind of pull it. Make sure it's really snug in there. Keep braiding. Make sure it's really snug. Okay, and this is the shorter end. Do you see how much further we still have to braid? So there's no way it's going to come out. Okay, now I'm going to add my second piece of hair. You know what? I don't know why I grabbed it with my pinky last time. It's actually easier if you use your index finger to grab it first and then use your thumb to push it into the strands. I hope you saw that. And then braid, braid. When you're taking out the piece, be careful not to take out your own hair because I've done that before. So I'm just going to move it out of the way. Pull it to make sure it's snug in there. Keep braiding. Okay, I'm gonna add my third piece. Once you get the hang of it, like, you will just get really quick at it. You don't even think about it. But for some reason when I'm trying to explain it, I'm like, wait, how do I do this again? That's 3. Okay, I'm gonna add my 4th piece. Okay, use your clip to move the hair out of the way. Pull it, make sure it's snug. Now I'm going to start adding pieces to give it length and thickness because it's starting to get a little bit thinner towards the end. The hairs that I'm adding right now, they're not going to come out. They're just going to be used to give my hair length and thickness. And I'm adding 3. 1 per strand. Now it's much longer. And we're going to keep braiding and use some Shine and Jam to mix my hair with the added hair. Dang, how many pieces have I added? 1, 2, is it 4? Okay, I'm going to add my 5th piece. And be careful not to get gel on the hair that you're taking out because then it loses its fullness and it just starts to look very stringy, you know? Yeah, I'm actually gonna add 1 more piece just because I want it a little bit longer. I can see where my hair is at, and I'm just gonna continue to braid until I get a couple inches past my hair. And you see how once it gets past your hair, it loses its thickness because now you're just braiding with the added hair and no longer your own hair. Here, do you see how much skinnier it's getting? And then I'm gonna stop braiding, and that is how it should look. I don't put rubber bands in my hair because if it does unravel, it unravels just like a little bit, not enough to where it starts to fall apart. But yeah, that's how it looks. And then the flyaways, you can either cut them out, but careful not to cut your own hair because I've done that like too many times. But honestly, I don't really care anymore. I just leave it. Maybe like the front pieces I'll cut, but these I'll just leave it. So what I do care about is the direction that the pieces are coming out of. Depending if I braid overhand or underhand, when I do take out the pieces, like they end up at the back or in the front. So the pieces right here, let me zoom in, show you guys. So for example, like these pieces are coming out behind my hair. It's like I did not add all this hair just for the braid to sit on top of them. I want them to sit on the outside. So I'm going to use my crochet hook, grab the piece that I want to pull out, and then I'm going to put the hook just around where the piece is, like so. Pull it through, and then loop the hair in, close it, and then pull it to the other side. Oh shoot, okay, I could have centered that a little bit better, but I'll try the next one. Let's try again. Loop it and then pull it. Okay. Okay, that's like better. Make sure you grab all the hairs that it's in the hook, because when you pull it through and you don't have all the hairs in there, it can kind of get tangled and make a mess. See? So much better. That's the direction that you want your hair coming out of. And then I'm going to just continue to do that. Honestly, if you get it right the first time and just pull out the pieces in the right direction, then you don't have to waste your time doing this. But for some reason, when I'm braiding on the right side of my head, I always have this problem where I keep thinking I'm pulling it on the right side, but I don't. So much better. You see? A lot better. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this side and work on a few more pieces on my left side, and then I'll show you how I do it one more time. Oh my gosh, look at this mess. So I feel like my part is not as clean as when I parted it, but okay, this looks like such a tangled mess, but it's the last braid on my right side of my head. Yay. Okay, for some reason I can braid a lot easier like this way, and I was able to add the piece a lot higher, so I don't know. Okay, I have one more braid to do. It's this tiny little section right here. I have little pieces like this that I'm going to use to thicken up this braid, because look how tiny it is. So thin and so short. So I'm braiding it away from my face, so that way the braid, do you ever have braids sometimes and the braids in the front, they're just like directly in front of your face? I hate that. So I'm trying to braid away from my face. The first 3 pieces that I'm going to add are just pieces to thicken up this braid. So I'm not going to be taking out any pieces right now. This braid just needs to be thicker. So that's the second one. And one more. And keep braiding. Okay. Now I'm going to add my first piece that I'm going to take out. Look at the size. Grab it, push it in there, braid, braid, and then grab it. It's right here. It's this one. Take it out. And then pull it, just make sure it's snug. And then I'm going to add another piece to make it thicker, because this braid is still kind of skinny. Like maybe 3 more pieces. I feel like I have a tangle. Next piece, I'm going to take out this piece. 3, braid. Move it out of the way. I'm going to add my third piece that I'm going to take out. Some of the pieces that I'm adding are just for length. So this strand right here is quite short and thin. So the next piece that I'm going to add, this piece that I'm going to add, the longer side is going to go on this strand. So that way this strand has length. So do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't put the shorter strand on this one, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going. I feel like my last couple braids, like in the front, always end up looking the bulkiest, because I feel like I have to make more alterations, you know? Okay, I'm going to add another piece so I can take it out. I'm going to take out this piece, move it. And then I'm just going to grab this piece on this side and make sure the lengths are the same and thickness and all that. You could definitely just use synthetic hair, like on the few pieces of braids that you need extra thickness or length. But it's only just like a couple braids that I need assistance with. And then I'm just gonna keep braiding until I get past my hair. And then I'm done. And then the end is gonna get all skinny and it's not gonna unravel. But you know what? I am done. Woohoo! I'm all done. I feel like I have to trim it a tiny bit.
This can't be life if there's a point to losing love, repeating pain. It's all the same. I hate this place, stuck in this paradigm. Don't believe in paradise.
This hairstyle, honestly, it took me, I don't know. I was trying to track how long it took me, but I take so many breaks that honestly, if you plan to do your own hair at home, like give yourself 3 days, honestly. That way you can take your sweet time. You don't have to like rush yourself. Yeah. It might look like they're really small based on how the top of my head looks, but that's just all an illusion because the braids in the back and on the sides, they're a lot larger. And then I make it a little bit smaller when I do my middle part to make it look like I have smaller braids. If you look on the sides, they're like medium to large, I would say. Yeah, so that's just a great way of saving time, honestly. And you can't really see the parts because the hair is all, there's just so much of the hair. So yeah. So for this hairstyle, I just used some bundles I had laying around. And I think I had 1.5 bundles. So they're just some old bundles I had from CurlsQueen. And I believe this hair is 24 inches in body wave. I also ran out of hair, so I had to use hair from my clip-in extensions. I just cut them from the weft. Honestly, I feel like I could have gone even fuller, but obviously I ran out of hair because some of the braids, like on the side, they have like, there's not one piece of hair out of it. I had to, I just really had to make it work. So if you ever run out of hair, or if you know you're not gonna have enough hair for the look, don't worry about adding too many pieces towards like the perimeter of your head. So like the back, like the nape of your neck, and then the sides, like above your ears. Don't add too many. Just add like a couple, and then when you get higher, add the most. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.
I always say